Hello everyone and welcome back to the Red Yoga Mini Sutra series online. Today I wanted to talk about the gift of boundaries. So, all of us have boundaries, whether we are willing to say what those boundaries are or not. We have boundaries. Now, what I'm trying to talk to you guys about today is the fact that there's a kindness in stating what your boundaries are, in being clear about your boundaries. And that kindness is first to yourself, but it is also towards others. And I'm going to use the analogy of dogs here for a second. Now, dogs are pack animals, but so are human beings. Okay? Human beings are also pack animals. Now, if you have experience with dogs, you know that being a pack animal, dogs need a leader. And that if no one in the household takes on the role of the alpha, takes on the role of leader, then what happens is your dog decides it needs to be the alpha, it needs to be the leader. Not only do you end up usually with difficulties in the household in terms of the dog listening to your commands and discipline issues and that type of thing, you also tend to end up with a dog who's actually quite anxious. And an anxious dog is unfortunately a quote-unquote badly behaved dog. All right, a dog who's more likely to bite, a dog who is more likely to be aggressive. But I want to say to you that the reason that that dog tends to become anxious is because the dog will step into the role of alpha, but the dog doesn't necessarily want that role. Dogs do well if you give them boundaries, if you say, these are what the rules are. This is the behavior that is expected, and that if you are consistent with that, it actually causes the dog to become calm because it understands how things go. It understands what you want from it. It understands how the rules work. Okay. This is actually the case with human beings as well, even though some human beings will seem to balk at the idea of rules. Some human beings will seem to balk at the idea of boundaries. So do some dogs. My dog, for example, when I tell her to go to her mat, when I'm making her breakfast, she sometimes will humph and kind of, whine a little bit as she goes back to her mat because she doesn't want to. She wants to be around the food. But she understands that when she's told to go to her mat, she needs to go to her mat. So some human beings will also whine and growl and whatnot when you place boundaries there. But the truth is, the placing of those boundaries, the willingness to state those boundaries, the willingness to be consistent with those boundaries, actually over time starts to calm even that human being because they know what to expect. They know how things run with you. Okay? So I would like you this week to practice, being okay with stating and implementing your boundaries on a regular basis. It's not an unkindness, it's a gift. Okay, thank you everyone. I look forward, as always, to seeing you again online very, very soon. Namaste.